good evening, good evening. I want to welcome you to tonight's Bible study. This is your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm so glad that you joined me on tonight. Now, I am going to just share a few things. We've been out of pocket for Mother's Day. And letting the everyone just celebrate with your family and just have that time. Also on yesterday, the birthday of the illustrious Bishop of Twitch, One Reason, had a birthday on yesterday, and I celebrate you today, sir. I celebrate you. You are just all that and then some. I love me some you. So I want to give you those birthday blessings and birthday wishes on tonight. Now I see I have in here DJ P Food. That's my brother. I love me some you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I really, really do. And then of course, Dr. Dady Priest. Yes, the high priestess is here. All three of these are streamers, phenomenal streamers, and I want you to follow them if you're not following them, because they will bless your whole life. Now, there's so much going on. I want to appreciate everybody's prayers. Oh my goodness, over the weekend, I eulogized my baby, Nathan, the gift, Nathan Lamont. Some of you will remember him from coming in quite frequently into the Lion's Den. And it was a beautiful celebration, a beautiful honoring of his life. Needless to say, it was still just so hard. It's, you just have to try to wrap your brain around it. And at the same time, we have today, I know it does not directly impact me, but I have several friends who are very prominent and dominant young man, minister of music, songster, major part of the St. Louis gospel community, who here today, gone tomorrow. And today, so many of my friends are in shock and grief. So there's so much going on. Transition. Time is filled with swift transition. And this definitely has been a very, very swift time of transition. I want to say this before I get into the Bible study, and I'm not going to talk a lot, but I want to say a couple of things. And especially, I'm glad that the three of you are here. I know you may have other things that you have to do and may have just checked in because you just sharing love in the Lion's Den. But I want to say a few things. Again, with the transition that's going on, I want everybody to understand that your health is your wealth. Your health is your wealth. While there are people out here, and I know you are One Reason. That's why I said I appreciate you. There's so many people that are out chasing the bag. There are so many that are out trying to get notoriety and fame and people to know your name. And, it's like everybody well, I don't say everybody because that's automatically an erroneous statement, but so many right now are chasing that notoriety that comes with, I want to stream so that I blow up. Some individuals, that's really what they are striving for, is just to blow up. I watched a documentary of, there's some young men that, they basically, this guy has promoted himself as a person that can make you into a multi-million dollar streamer. And these kids are going and sacrificing life and limb and doing without food, and the schedules that they have, everything, any and everything that they can possibly do just to try to gain that notoriety, to make it big. They want that number, that magic number of people knowing them and coming to their stream. But I'm gonna say it once more and again, while folks are out here chasing all of this and that and the third, your health is your wealth. I've seen and I've observed, and even as I said about my friends who are just absolute 45. The young man was 45. The young man just released a couple of CDs and projects. The young man, I mean, very, very well known in mainstream gospel and definitely in the St. Louis community. And the people are shook. The people are shook. And I understand, different ones were accounting how they, hey, just saw him yesterday. But this one thing I do know, while people are striving for all of these things, mental health is surely wealth. Come on here, Dr. Dady. And this is Mental Health Month, Mental Health Awareness Month. And I did highlight that as well on my page, because at the end of the day, if you don't have a mind, if your mind is gone, if emotionally you can't pull things together. And I posted a song that a young man did. I don't even know the young man, but it touched me when I listened to the words of it, because it spoke volumes to the uh, particularly the plight of young black men who feel like they cannot express themselves in any way. They can't show any level of weakness. They can't show any cracks in the mold, and it's killing them. It's killing them. Suicide is an epidemic right now, for sure, for sure. And as we are looking and shocked, stunned, and amazed at, I never would have thought it would be this one. I never thought it would be that one, and so on and so forth. At the end of the day, people are struggling. People are struggling. And so this is where I stop and take pause even tonight, because it's like, and I am going to read from the scripture, but I'm also concerned about the people. I'm concerned about the people. So I want you to take care of yourselves. I want you to do whatever you need to do to be mentally well. I want you to do whatever you need to do to be physically well. And I want us to be proactive and not reactive in that regard. It doesn't, and particularly in mental health, we feel like mental health is only to be addressed when we're in trouble. No, I want us to make it a norm that we address mental health just like we do physical health, maintenance, preventive, all of that. The same way that you do for your physical body, please do that for your mind and your mental well being. So these are areas that on today, I'm saying there's just not there's nothing that you can trade for that. There's nothing you can trade for that. And I don't care how you blow up. Should you be the one that should blow up, look at Marilyn Monroe. Look at, we can just go through a list of people that have self-destructed. And just, it wasn't about people knowing your name. It wasn't about, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna say this. I saw where, oh, who was it? I want to say Deion Sanders has a post out where he was talking about how people act like they love you. And he said, but you don't even know me. He said, you love what I did. You loved how I performed for you, and how I performed for you made you feel. But you don't love me. You don't even know my middle name, he said. He said, and at the end of the day, people chase all of that, and you still come up feeling empty, because you have this emptiness inside, and you may at some point feel and think that the notoriety is going to satisfy that, but in the end, it does not. I really enjoyed his talk. He did an excellent conversation, and I think more of that needs to be heard, more of that needs to be addressed, more of that needs to be talked about. Because I'm telling you, as I look and I see how hard people are chasing, trying to get quote unquote there. Everybody's trying to get there. And our physical health is failing, our mental health is waning, and being sacrificed. And, I just wanted to stop before I go into everything else, just briefly, and I'm not going to talk a long time. I just felt that I want to talk and speak to these times directly, based on some events that are going on right now, in this present world, in my immediate environment and in the immediate environment of others that I genuinely love. So transition, as I said, life is filled with swift transitions, but please take care of yourself. The other thing I want to also, to that end, I want to speak to, and that is, so many people are trying to hit the magic number, catch the magic bullet, shoot their shot, and soar, whatever word you want to put in there. And yes, I do believe that He's predestined. God has predestined us for greatness. Everybody's not going, and greatness is, there are many dynamics and definitions to what greatness is. It's relative in some ways, and other ways that's a whole conversation I'm not necessarily trying to get into. But this is what I want to say, and this is why I was glad to see, one reason, the Bishop of Twitch, Dr. Dady Priest, the High Priestess, and DJ Pifu in my chat. I want to encourage you, because the one thing I do feel, and one of the reasons why I came on tonight, there's a lot going on. I've got a lot of people pulling at me for different things, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. But this is what I also want us to know. I want you to be, KB Browns. Good evening to you. So much love to you. That's another brother. I love you so much. I want you to understand the power of consistency. The power of consistency. And this is what I'll say. A lot of times people will start, the race isn't given to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to him that endures to the end, the same shall be saved. I want us to understand the power of consistency. It's not about being the most elaborate and the most grandiose and the most this and that and the other, that people are really jumping out there and putting their whole energies into. What I see more times than not is that they fizzle out and they fade away, before you know it. And even for myself, as you all know, in the year 2023, I said, I need to do some self-care, pull away, take some mental health time, take some physical health time, take some financial health time, relocate, and, do some things for spiritual thought leader, and put spiritual thought leader first, but yet and still be consistent and faithful in what I was doing. And I'm looking at, I believe it's been with Dr. Dady Priest since 2020. I want to say, I believe one reason started in 2020. I encountered DJ Pifu, if not 2020, maybe 2021, and still going forth. I want to say to you, and when I say this, don't think that I'm saying you have to do a certain thing a certain way and continue. 2020, thank you, DJP. So we got a good solid 5 years out of all. And I want to say that, again, while you've got these people out here that are really jumping through hoops and doing extreme things to try to be relevant and try to get that magic number, and so on and so forth, I want to say this. It's almost like the tortoise and the hare. You all know the story, so I don't need to belabor that. But the tortoise, it really represents consistency and foundation building. That's what I want to. That's what I want to emphasize. Consistency and foundation. When you have a foundation, you can be consistent. You don't have to jackrabbit start, and because I'm gonna tell you, that flame and that energy soon burns out, and or in people's inability to have that, what I call, stick to itiveness. They burn out that light really, really quickly, or lay down and go to sleep, and when they wake up, they've lost the race. So I want to say to you, health is wealth. Mental health is wealth. Stacy, I see you. Good evening, and I love you. I love you. I love you. Mental health is wealth. And this epidemic with our young black men is killing me. It's killing me. And I I really am asking the Lord to show me anything that I can do to help, anything that I can do to facilitate something different. And I also, with that, understand the desire to be in certain places in life at certain times. And it seems like everything is working against that. It seems like every time you turn around, there's a foe, enemy at the door to try to shut you down and take you 10 steps backwards. And I do understand it becomes disheartening after a while. But some way, somehow, we've got to find a means by which to reach out and touch everybody, everybody. But again, I'm seeing the epidemic, and I'm concerned. I'm very, very concerned, and I don't think we can just continue to, um, bury our heads in the sand like it doesn't exist and keep on trucking, baby, keep on trucking. I don't want to see our beloved anyone self destructing. I want us to be able to come into the fullness that all God has for us. But I do want to applaud again DJ P Food, One Reason, Dr. Dady Priest. I hope you all know the impact that you're having. And again, I want to underscore the foundational level that you have established for yourselves and your consistency. And I just want to say, in that, it may not look to you at the moment that it is accomplishing everything that you have set in your heart for it to accomplish. But I promise you, just continue to be consistent, continue to lay foundations and build strong foundations, and then build on top of those strong foundations. One day you're going to wake up and be shocked, stunned, and amazed at what God is going to release into your lives in such a powerful way. And so I just wanted to speak that encouragement. I wanted to speak that admonishment as far as we got to take care of our bodies, we've got to take care of our minds, we've got to take care of ourselves. And please be diligent in doing that self care, because it's critical and it's vital in this hour. As we come out of this transition that we're in under this current administration, there's going to be a need for people that can pick up the slack, carry the ball, and get us across the finish line. Many of us have been slated for that, whether we realize it or not. By the Spirit, we have been slated for that. Some of us are going through solitary walk periods. Some of us are going through periods where people don't understand you. They don't get your vision. They don't whatever. You may be experiencing some levels of that, and it's okay. It's okay, because it's par for the course for where we are right now. And if nothing else, to help all of us get to a point where we don't care. I don't care whether you understand what my mission and call is. I don't care if you understand the dream and the vision. I don't care. I just know where I'm going, and I know where I've got to get to. And I'm going to be faithful to that. And it may, for seasons of time, require a solitary walk. Don't fight it. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. All right. And I just wanted to say that because these are critical times. Praying for all of the bereaved. I definitely am. My heart is saddened for those in this most recent situation. And so it is what it is. But at the same time, I'm determined to be faithful to what God has called me to, because I believe there's a purpose for the call that God has on my life and the reason why God has us doing this. All right. Now, let me go briefly to the Word of God. I'm not going to do a lot of talking. I think I've done the majority of it because I really wanted to speak to the things that I just shared, because number one, it's on my heart. And number two, it's actually going on in people's lives and they are struggling. People are struggling. And I just wanted to speak to that. And I also wanted to speak that word of encouragement to each of you that are here and have been going, all of us since 2020. And we know 2020 was a pivotal year all by itself. it was a turning point and a pivotal year all by itself. So it kind of speaks to we were birthed in during the time of the pandemic, and we're in another pandemic, whether you realize it or not. So just do what you do and be consistent and take care of yourselves. Now, the word of the Lord, I'm going to go to that. Today, we had some things that we're looking at. David is at the end of his life. And you all know, I said, I love David because at the end of the day, out of all of his mishaps and all the things that he did, missteps and whatever you want to call it, he was still a worshiper. And I love that about him. And that's what I said. If you don't take anything else away from his playbook, please take that. At the end of the day, as you walk and journey through whatever life is bringing to you, stop and worship. Please do that. Now, so he assembles the people together. That's where we are together today, and begins to talk to them concerning contributions. And I'm not going to necessarily go through all of that. David was one. He said, when thou shalt appear before the Lord, you shall not appear before him empty. And I don't just take that in a monetary way. I don't take that in even though I do believe in financially supporting ministries, I don't just take that, there's so many ways that can be looked at. When you appear before the Lord, do not appear before him empty. And I want to encourage you, especially whatever God has deposited within you. I want you to cultivate it so that when you come before the Lord, you don't appear before him empty. Take everything. I mean, go whole hog, sold out. Take everything that God has deposited in you and bring it forth. One thing that and I'm not going to go into it, but one thing I noticed, an area for opportunity where I'm still growing, happened over the weekend, and I saw it. And I discussed it with my friend, and the one thing that she said that she was excited about was that I recognized it right away, which I did, because there have been times when I would have just, and it wasn't anything negative about. I'm a giver, but I sometimes struggle with balance when it comes to people because I want to help everybody. I want to love on everybody. I want to be all things to all people if I don't catch myself. And so it's along those lines. But I caught myself, even though I didn't necessarily come with the 100% on my grading of the paper. I'd say I probably got, I didn't flunk, but it wasn't a high ranking score. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not going to appear before the Lord empty because God has given so many things to me. I've got to constantly pay attention and polish and cultivate those things that God has deep inside of me that need to come forth. Things that through life have been pushed down, squashed, silenced, whatever. But I recognize that for where I am going in this season of life and the things that I will do for the Lord. Now, y'all know I got boldness in certain areas, but then there are other areas where God's still working on me. So it is that when I say I'm not going to appear before the Lord empty. I'm not going to come before the Lord even in those areas where I have opportunity for growth and say, well, Lord, you made me, you created me. This is my area where this is my area of opportunity. No, I'm aware. I'm conscious of it. Immediately I was, which is wonderful because again, that's where I give myself a passing grade, because when I tell you there have been times in my life when I was completely oblivious to it, that's true. So I at the same time, I'm not going to come before the Lord and just say, this is what I have to offer. This is what I have to give. It's not completely polished. It's not completely cultivated. It's not completely developed. I'm going to bring you something half baked. No, when I appear before the Lord, I will not appear before God empty. Anything and everything that I can bring in excellence is what I will bring. And that excellence is not only to the Lord, it's to the Lord's people, it's to the world at large, it's to my job, it's to everything that I do, it's to my gifts and my talents, it's to the projects that I set my hand to. When I appear before the Lord, I will not appear before God empty. I'm going to stop and take that time to just really bring my absolute best, and continue to work on those things that still need to be cultivated and developed. And I'm just kind of honing in on one area, but you can read through that. There's a lot that he talks to them about. Now, then we get to David's thanksgiving and prayer, First Chronicles 29, verses 10 through 19. And then we get Psalm 72, verses 1 through 20. Verses 1 through 17. The close of the proceedings, First Chronicles 29, 20, and 22. This is after he's congregated everybody together. And what I'm going to really kind of concentrate our attention on are David's last words, 2 Samuel 23, verses 1 through 7. And then he speaks to Solomon. I'm not going to go through that. 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 1 through 9. And with that, I want to say, I was talking to someone and I made the comment, and it's not just about church, but it's about anything that you feel like is worthwhile. Create it so that it has legacy after you're gone, when we are no longer here. And that's what David does when he's talking to Solomon, because he understands it's his time to go. He understands that the zeal of building the Lord's house, David had that, but the Lord said he could not build it because he was a bloody man. He had blood on his hands. And so Solomon is given that blessing and that commission to do. But the point that I want to make here is, plan for how your legacy will continue. Don't just look at life from a one and done. I don't have any children. I have no birth offspring. But I believe and hope and pray that the spirit and the energy of what I have birthed into this world, through my hands and through my thoughts and through my energies and efforts, I would hope that that is not going to die when I close my eyes. I hope that that will not be, come on, there you go, KB Browns. Leave something for the next leader. And I was having this conversation. I said, we've got to invest in making deposits in people's lives that can come after us and continue to take the torch and go higher. I'm not even looking for, I want you to go to a higher plane. I want to see you go to a higher level. This is what David does with Solomon when he takes him aside and begins to talk to him. And I feel like, and not because we're getting ready to die necessarily, but I feel like some of us, and I feel like I'm in this phase myself personally right now, where I'm depositing nuggets into people. I'm depositing seeds. I'm depositing so that, and the with the intent of what has been birthed being carried on, being really taken to a whole nother level, where it's not about spiritual thought leader, it's about the concept, the idea, the energy, the passion, the what it brings, and what it brings into the earth realm that God intended to be here through the ministry. So these are the things that I want us to really concentrate on. I want you to stop and think about that. Who have you stopped and taken time to really take some time and cultivate, take some time and really develop, take some time and make those deposits? We're not in competition with one another. Please believe that. There is no competition between us and others. I hope that's not the energy that you're operating from. And there's nothing wrong. As a matter of fact, let me tell you what, this is something, and I will share this for any other ministers that are here, because it was a touchy situation as far as celebrating a person's life that has committed suicide. And so, as I said, there was a fine line that I had to walk on, that, and additionally, without the family acknowledging to the general public. So, number one, wisdom. If the family's not telling, I'm not telling. Okay, so that part. And at this point, though, I do have understanding and I do have liberty, and so I don't want you to think I'm overstepping my boundaries even here. But you have to give respect to family when you're dealing with family. Secondly, what I had, as I shared, and I had some of my staff that was there, those that I believe are going to carry the torch after, long after I'm gone, and deposited in their children, and their children are doing phenomenal things already. So, and showing standout leadership in their schools and in their communities. I'm just so godly proud already, because I'm like, God, there's just certain things. If I close my eyes today, I feel good. But I said to them, I said, so this is breaking down for you the task that was laid before me. I need to celebrate, but I cannot celebrate and glorify in a sense of suicide is the answer. So I had to be very, very prayerful about how to do that. And without going through a lot of who shot John, um, I was able to do that uh, with diplomacy intact. But this is the straight out conversation I had with those that are coming behind me. I basically talked and walked, and it was a beautiful, beautiful situation, beautiful setting, very well received. There was a lot of pain, a lot of anguish that was there, that was ministered to. And I thank God for that. You have to sometimes just ask God for wisdom, and people that said they were bound and drowning in grief but couldn't express it, got a breakthrough. I mean, it was powerful. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about setting up people for legacy, like David, when he stops and has this conversation with Solomon, Dr. Dady, oh, listen, it was a beautiful, it was received well, it was a beautiful session, and yes, folks need a safe space, they need that safe space, and it was beautiful. That's all I can say. And I'm not even taking the credit, because I said, in my weakness, God's strength is made perfect in my weakness. Because when I tell you, I'm still heartbroken, and that was probably one of the hardest eulogies I've ever delivered. But at the same time, I praise God for what happened in that place. There was a tremendous, tremendous breakthrough. And I don't say that to pat myself on the back and applaud me. I'm just telling you, God showed up and God showed out, and I'm thankful for that. Now, but what I'm saying here is because I had those with me that I anticipate will take this torch and run with it long after I'm gone, and pass it on to their children and their children's children. I did take them to the side and just talk to them and break it down when I got a chance to speak with just them to themselves, without all the rest of the crowds of the people and this and that and the other. And they were there. They stood by my side as armor bearers. They always do. They watched every move I made, every breath I took. They were making sure I was okay. But it's almost like Elijah and Elisha. If you don't take your eyes off, anyway, there's one of listen. That's them, including the rebel ink who drove in town and was such a blessing. But nonetheless, I said to them, you just have to take the assignment in the hand and make an assessment and ask God for wisdom, the words to say, how to step, where to step, because it can be a landmine. You don't want to misstep. These are the things that we have to do. Take people under your wing and just break it down. Don't talk in riddles and parables and you got to try to figure out. No, I just, and I talked to them very plainly because I said to them, this is a teaching moment. This is a teaching moment that I don't want to miss because you may encounter this in your lifetime of ministry, and I don't want you to be reeling and rocking on how to address it. This is the stuff that I want us to start doing. And even as David did with Solomon, some of you need to pull your kids to the side. Some of you need to, there may be individuals that have watched you down through the years and have taken to you, and there's a special bond there of a protege. And I mean, I want you to assess. Don't by any means minimize how important you are in somebody's life that's watching you. And whoever that somebody or somebody's are, take the time, just like David did before he left the scene, and sit them down and have a talk. And again, I suggest that you do it all during the course of your life's journey. Every chance you get, once and they know they are assigned to you, if I can use that terminology, and they are sitting at your feet to listen and be taught, stop and take the time to deposit those rich gems and jewels, whether it's your children, whether it's whoever. But don't die and not have the legacy laid and prepared well. That's what I want to, because Solomon needed to do something even greater than what David had done. All right. So that was what our lesson was covering. I just want to go over David's last words, which again is prophetic. That's found in, let me go. I want to go to, where do I want to go? Uh, 2 Samuel 23 verses 1 through 7 are the actual, let me put that in. 2 Samuel 23, let me put that in real quick. All right, these are the last words of David, and I'm reading out of an NIV version today. These are the last words of David, the inspired utterances of David, the son of Jesse, the utterance of the man exalted by the Most High, the man anointed by God, the God of Jacob, the hero of Israel's songs. And again, the psalmist, again, remember, psalms are songs. The Spirit of the Lord spoke through me. His word was on my tongue. The God of Israel spoke. The rock of Israel said to me, when one rules over people in righteousness, when he rules in the fear of God, he is like the light of the morning at sunrise on a cloudless morning, like the brightness after rain that brings grass from the earth. If my house were not right with God, surely he would not have made me with an everlasting covenant, arranged and secured it in every part. Surely he would not bring to fruition my salvation and grant me my every desire. But evil men are all to be cast aside like thorns, which are not gathered with the hand. Whoever touches the thorn uses a tool of iron or the shaft of a spear, and they are burned up where they lie. Now, Those are the recorded final words that we have. And then he goes back in Second Chronicles, and you begin to see the listing of his mighty men, the things that they did, their exploits, and all of that. All of this is almost like a eulogy. It's almost like a what I want to say. Uh, oh, what is it that you write about the person at the time of their demise? Um, Help me, y'all help me. My brain is having a senior moment, but all of this is kind of like putting together. And I tell people what we write. Anybody that's in here, my brain is having a senior moment. But that's really what this chapter is like. It's covering everything that David has done in his lifetime. He says his final words, and then it goes back and reflects. We say life's reflection, obituary. There, thank you. My brain just couldn't pull it out. So this chapter is almost like his final words and obituary. And I think for me, and again, I'm not saying this because I think something's going to happen to me anytime soon. And I'm not telling you to do this because something's going to happen to you. But I do encourage you to sit down and reflect. I think reflection, there are times when we need to just stop and reflect. There are times when we need to make deposits based on the reflections. And again, this idea of legacy continuing. Don't let it die with me. Let it continue on. And so this is what we see going on. I love how David is very, very poetic. And of course, I'm a person, I write poetry and I love poetry. But the way he makes this description about how the sun shines at the breaking of a new day, and how the sun shines after the rain and after a storm. That analogy of what it's like when you have ruled the people righteously, when you've done right by people. And I believe that I'm going to switch up rulership and just talk about treating people, how you treat people. It's not necessarily about rulership and being in charge, large and in charge, but did you treat people right? Did you treat people lovingly? Did you treat people with kindness? Did you treat people the way that you would have liked to have been treated? You notice that your son would always watch your wife as you and your wife as a child, but especially me being his dad. I pour into him directly and indirectly, constantly. He doesn't notice the indirect. I love that. And KB Browns, we need that. We need that. We need that. Excuse me, my allergies are bothering me. This is where I am. All of the allergens are in their highest level right now today. They're just off the charts, and my throat, my nose, everything is just if I could just reach down in there and scratch it. But yes, to that point, we need, and I tried to do the same. I don't have biological children, KB Browns, but I have spiritual children, and I also have adopted, what I call adopted children, and grandchildren at this point. And some that actually call me grandmommy, so, and I embrace it fully, and I love them to death. And I'm telling you, it just tickles me. It tickles my tickle bone. But at the end of the day, the element of trying to take that time to deposit into individuals every chance I can. And again, as you said, more indirectly, sometimes incognito than the direct on. Now, like I said about Saturday's situation with those that are holding up my arms and supporting me. And I'm going out of my way. I'm just going to say, and they know it, I go out of my way to deposit any chance I get directly. But then there are also a lot of incognito, indirect deposits that I try to do consistently and constantly. Um, because not because I think I'm all that in a bag of chips. I just feel like there is something uh, that I can give that will help them on their journey, that maybe when they get in a situation in a particular time and scenario, the words that I've spoken low this many years ago may come back and that may resound in their ears, and they may remember that and say, she said da 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 da. It may be an option, not necessarily the choice, but at least give people options to consider and think about, and to give them J Trey that chance to uh, have tools, And this is the thing, and I'm going to say this, and I'm almost done. But this is the thing that even as we start talking about legacy, um, before David died, all of the materials that Solomon needed to build the temple, David gathered that for him and had it ready. And I think this is something that we need to. Oh, they can go out and they can figure it out. They can work out. No, and I think that's what love does. I just personally think that's what love does. I want to, if I know that it's not for me to do, and you are the one that has been given the commission to do it, can I give you everything in my power, everything in my arsenal to help you to have what you need to build? So all you have to do is concentrate on building it. You don't have to concentrate on where am I going to get this from, and where am I going to get that from, and where am I going to get the other from. And I know there are different schools of thought, and I know there are certain areas that people have to learn on their own. But I've seen too many, and I've counseled too many people who come to me wounded because people that could have given them tools, people that could have given them uh, uh, materials to work with, denied them that, um, on purpose. And again, I said, I know there's something to be said for sometimes you got to go out there and figure it out on your own, but good grief. I mean, some of these young people have been thrown to the dogs. Listen, KB Browns, if I can just help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Can you please give what you can? And deposit it freely with love and let it do what it do. I believe that with all my heart. And I believe that's partly, if you want legacy to continue on, give it away. Don't hoard it up and sit up and you got to figure it out. And I mentioned this the other day about Bill Gates and his decision, given the times, that he's not going to continue on with the Gates Foundation as he had planned. But he said, I'm going to give it away now because it's needed now. So, assess the times, figure it out, do what you need to do, but bless the people. Bless your children. Bless your offspring. Bless those that are following in your footsteps and in your tracks. Bless your colleagues that will come after you. Wherever it is that you are in that role, that people are looking at you, please, 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 just like David did with Solomon, go ahead and have that conversation with them. Share, deposit, give everything you can. And then you can say, like David, when you've judged, when you've ruled with righteousness, you can be like the sunlight at the breaking of day. You can be like the sunlight after the rain and the storm. This is what gives our life beauty, I believe. That's what I believe. And while people are chasing so many other things, can we do this? Can we do this right here? All right. I think I'm at the end of what I wanted to say tonight. I hope that this has helped you. Now, the flip side of that, which I didn't emphasize, for those that don't follow that, it's like a plant with thorns, and whoever handles it, you know what's gonna happen if you get a thorny plant and all you do is pierce yourself with the thorns. You know that is not a pleasant experience. Now, so that is David's last word as he is preparing to give up the ghost and pass the kingdom on to his son Solomon. And tomorrow you'll get in the reading of the death of David and Solomon beginning his reign. All right. I hope this has helped you. I hope that something that I said has been of benefit. As I said, though, um, my goal, I'm first partaker of the fruit. My goal is to be consistent, to build strong and sure foundations, and to be consistent. It doesn't matter uh, what everybody else is chasing. I want the wealth of my health, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. Uh, I want health. I want health. And I want the foundation to be built and strong and firm, a sure foundation, as the Bible says. All right. I want to come around and say hi to everybody that's here tonight. Excuse me, and we'll be getting out of here. My apologies. My allergies are just off the charts because the allergens today are off. This is one of those days where the ragweed looks like snow outside, and we are just in a allergy situation here in the Midwest. So I'm having to kind of deal with that a little bit, but I appreciate you all bearing with me. One reason, the Bishop of Twitch, I appreciate you. I hope dinner is delicious. I love you, sir. And again, listen, yesterday was One Reason's birthday. Of course, he's not going to ever ask, but I invite you, if you want to be a blessing to One Reason, please do so because he is such a blessing to us. His birthday was on yesterday, and again, we wish him the happiest of birthdays and nothing but mad love to you. And may you see many, many, many more years. DJ Pifu, that's my brother as well. All these good men, I appreciate you for being in the house and supporting your sister. I really do appreciate you. Dr. Dady Priest, that's my high priestess and my sister. I appreciate you. And you always come in and bless the house. Thank you so much. And J Trey, thank you for stopping in on us today. I appreciate you. KB Browns is my brother from another mother. Nothing but love to you. And Stacy 546, that's my twin. You all may not have noticed because of the red hair and the blue eyes, but that's my twin. I love me some you, Stacy. Thank you for coming in, and we gotta connect soon and very soon. And I think I hope I haven't missed anybody that's actually in my chat. I appreciate you. Myron Golden said that he makes sure to take care of his core. Walking, come on, and grip strength. I love that. I love that. uh, I, 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 I want us to. You're going to check out. I have a coaching call at 5. Hey, Dr. Day, I appreciate you. We're headed out the door. I hope that you all have a wonderful evening, and I hope that you will take heed and blessing upon blessing. Enjoy the rest of your night. Peace for your journey, and we'll see you tomorrow.